yeah, just doing a decoder fit out on electric locomotive class E 10.12 in the Roco catalogue, just looking through it there. The box and presentation for it, paperwork, is fantastic on this model. Gives you all the details you need. DCC decoder fit out. The model number is Roco 43381. It's 8-wheel drive. The actual model itself is a very fantastic, beautifully detailed plastic shell body, which is painted to a really high standard. It's got the actual cantery overhead systems work. The pantographs, they work. Can take the power through the chassis, but if obviously you've got to set them up if you want them to work on the cantery. If you've got one that has a real live working system. Amazing model, so it works in analog, DCC. Really interesting model. As I say, the detailing on this is outstanding. See, the detailing on the cab is amazing. The glazing on it is amazing. It's like got a double glazed effect on the actual cab. You even get a driver on this one as well. But come to, see the driver there, so that we can notice. What actually coming to fit the decoder is a really bizarre locomotive again. Coming across a really bizarre one, because you look at it, it's one gigantic lump of metal. And you think, for a small locomotive, it is such a heavy item. I mean, I've got sometimes I weigh locomotives just to see how heavy they are, and this one is 480 grams nearly, with just the chassis. Forget everything else. To get to the decoder and electronic board, you've got to remove this lump of die-cast metal, which is specially designed, and then you come to the circuit board, and then you obviously got to remove a decoder plug, which is here. That's where your decoder fits in. You've got to move this jumper switch here around into the DCC mode. I don't know if you can see that. These items, these connectors here, are for the overhead pantographs to take the power. Now, to fit the decoder, you get a special tray like this. So you pull the dummy tray out underneath the locomotive, which is part of the detailing, and you fit this instead, which you get with a kit. You get in the box, and basically your decoder goes in there, which is a Lenz Plus decoder, which are fantastic decoders for the money. They're only about £18 in the UK, and they're really good. And obviously that fits underneath the locomotive, sorry. That tray fits underneath. And then you take this panel off here. The wiring goes up round the side in between this detailing panel. You put that back in, and then obviously fit the wiring in. So that should be pretty straightforward. If you are doing this model, you've got to be careful if you turn it upside down. Yeah, so the DCC chip is actually installed in the under tray now. So I'm going to bring the cable up through here and put the side panel back on. Hopefully it should thread its way through into the top of the circuit board. Yeah, so now I've threaded it through, replaced the panel back on, which it's got to work its way through the panel uninterrupted. It's got to be flush with the side so the body goes back on, and obviously the chip's installed now, so this metal piece should just slot over the top, I hope. There you go, that slots over the top that die-cast piece, and hopefully that should be it. That's the old piece which we don't need anymore, and obviously it's just a matter of putting the body shell back on and hoping that fits correctly. So I'm just going to do a quick test on it now. Yeah, so we've just got it on the programming track, programming it using the Fleischmann Profi Boss, which is one of my favourite programming tools. So yeah, it's running, so ultra smooth. So on this model you've got your main motor, which is in the sensor below all the circuit board etc, and you've got like 2 gearboxes at either end which are worked via a drive shaft. Don't know if you can see that. So it's got 2 drive shafts coming out of either end, and it connects to 2 gearboxes and transferred to further gears driving 8 wheels. So it's a really smooth model. You can barely hear it when it's moving. It's just fantastic quality, these Roco models. This one's been quite easy to do, so quite surprised. It looked a bit of a chore when I took the body off and looked inside it. I thought, oh no, what's all this? How am I going to get to the circuit board? Well, anyway, so I'll be placing the beautifully detailed body back on, and that'll be another one done. Yeah, so I've got the body back on. That one went on pretty straightforward really. Just had to make sure the cables weren't snagged, and the connections for the lights, which run through, the contacts run through the plastic body shell which are connected on the roof. Just got to make sure they line up properly when you insert the body on this model. It's got conventional bulbs, 3 in forward, 2 red tail lights. Yeah, really nice. This one's worked out quite nice. I've installed the Fleischmann couplings. You get a extensive detailing bag of parts for extra detail, which contains metal parts as well on this model. But I'm going to leave that as it is for now, because I think it devalues a model. I'm just going to, if you come to sell it on, I'm just leaving that as it is. The detailing on this is pretty amazing anyway, so, and that's it. That's another project done. Thanks for watching.